So in this video, we'll explore how to graph a linear equation. Right? Now, in the past videos, we looked at what makes something a solution, and we know that linear equations, so we know this, that linear equations graphs are straight lines, right? We know this, we saw this in the previous video. So think about how and what you need to draw a straight line. So to draw a straight line, you need just two dots, right? If you had two dots, you can always connect them using a straight edge. So these two dots are the things that we have to find. So method one for graphing a linear equation. So method one, graphing a linear equation. By plotting points. So let's say we had, so let's do this with an example. Graph y equals 2x plus 1. So what do you do to graph? What we're going to do, so let me write the steps down in different color. Now I'm going to add steps as we go through the examples as they become more complex, but the simple one, this first one here, is easy, right? What you do is you choose your choice values for x and find y values that solve the equation. So it's pretty simple to do it this way. And so what we're going to do is we essentially are going to pick some random numbers for x. Now I usually always, if it's up to me and completely open and there are no restrictions, I pick usually minus 1, 0, and minus 1. Right? That's just me. I like to keep the numbers small so that they work out easier, and that's what I choose. It doesn't have to be what you choose, you can choose other numbers. So if I know x is 1 and or 0 or minus 1, then I can find the solutions to this equation very easily by using that x value. So y would have to be, in order to be a solution, that's 2 plus 1 is 3, y would have to be 3. So solutions x, y would be 1, 3. If x is 0, then y would have to be what? 2 times 0 plus 1. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1, that's 1. So 0, 1. At last, y would equal to 2 times minus 1 plus 1. That's a minus 2 plus 1, so that's a minus 1. Okay, so now you could have a question. It says, up here at the start I said to draw a straight line, we know this is going to be a straight line, you need just two dots. Well, I have three here, 3 points. So why did I choose 3? Well, that's just a little, the third point is just a little insurance policy, just to make sure I didn't mess things up. You know, you can always, even if you make a mistake in your calculations on 2 points, you can connect them. But if you made a mistake with 3 points, you're not going to be able to connect them in a straight line. So That's why you sometimes use 3 points. So let's graph this, because after all the problem said graph, and we know that means let's see if I can move this up here a little bit so that we can see everything at the same time. So let's go ahead and graph this. So 1 3, so starting at 0 0, 1 3, there it is, and 0 1, so starting at 0 0, I don't go anywhere. For the x, y is 1, and -1 -1, so starting at 0 0, -1 -1 right here. So yes, indeed, it's a straight line. Now make sure you can draw the straight line, right? That's about all I can freehand this. That's a really bad straight line. I'm sorry about that. But there is my straight line. Okay, and those 3 dots hopefully should be all lined up. And so if one of these dots was off the line, so let's say for example one of these dots was like here, then I know I've messed up. Now it doesn't mean that that's the one that's wrong, because after all you can connect these two and draw the straight line, right? So you don't know which one is wrong, but you can at least know that something is wrong, and you can check your work. And that's why people advocate that you draw that you find 3 dots, not just 2. All right, let's do one more example of graphing, and this time we'll take a look at something a little bit more complex. So this time, let's say we want to graph 2y equals 3x minus 4. Now, remember I said I'll keep writing steps. Well, one of the first steps that you want to do really as we get through more complex problems is to solve for y as your first step, and then pick values for x, right? And you could have picked values for y as well, but this is just traditionally how we've done this. So let's go ahead and do step 1, solve for y. So 2y is equal to 3x minus 4. So to solve for y, I would like to get y by itself, so I'm going to divide or multiply using the multiplication property. This side by 2, this also by 2, this also by 2, so everybody gets divided by 2. You got to do it all the way through. So I get y equals 3x divided by 2 minus 4. Okay, so there it is. That's the first step. Now the second step is to pick values for x. So fine, let's pick values for x. Right. So now this one here, you have to be a little careful, and if you're really smart about the way you pick values, you wouldn't have to deal with that fraction. So for instance, if I see a problem like this, I will choose 0 for x for sure. And why? Because if I choose 0 for x, that fraction is going to go away, because 0 times anything is 0. You see that? Don't have to deal with the fraction. So solutions x, y, x is 0, y is minus 4. Alright, so I need at least one more point, ideally 2. So what else can I choose? Right? So I look again at that x, and I'm going to choose 2. Now why would I choose 2? Because I know that if I put 2 here, that's really 2 over 1. So that's really 6 over 2. And 6 over 2 reduces to 3. So 3 minus 4 is minus 1. So I get 2 minus 1. Do you see how I'm picking numbers? I'm picking numbers that make that fraction part simplify easily. Now I get to choose these numbers for x, so I can do that. So I can choose 4 as my next number. So y is equal to 3 over 2, 4 over 1, x minus 4. So that's 12 over 2 minus 4. That's 6 minus 4, which is 2. So my solution is 4, 2. So to graph this, I would take my dot, my points. So 0, don't move anywhere on the x direction, -4, move down to -4. Starting right there at the origin, I go over to 2 and then -1. And then starting at the origin again, I go over to 4 and go up to 2. Okay, so looks like those three dots are all lined up. Let's see if I can draw a straight line here. Again, no guarantees. I'm actually using a straight edge. Seemed to work out. Sometimes it fouls up my display. This time it didn't. Awesome. So there is the graph. So that's the graph of y equals 2y equals 3x minus 4. Graph of 2y equals 3x minus 4. Okay, I'll talk about the next method of graphing on the next video.